Rockeyez would like to welcome Rick Rozz of M Inc. Hey man, what's up? What's going on?
Hey, how you doing, Brian? How's it going?
Great. Let's go back to the early days of your career and stuff like that. Why'd you decide to play a guitar and not another instrument, or was there something else you wanted to do?
Interesting question. But pretty much the moment I pretty much heard Steve Miller's "Fly Like an Eagle" record, my dad brought it home for me from work. A friend of his gave it to him, and he brought it home, and I remember listening to it, and it was more about the guitar than anything that kind of like grabbed me. And then I turned on the Kiss, and then I totally Ace Frehley thing. So guitar pretty much had me from there.
Cool. So what do you talked about Kiss? What do you think about Kiss now? What do you call it Kiss anymore?
I guess it is Kiss. Because they're just basically going on characters now, and they're not going on like the person behind the makeup. So it's all a business thing and stuff like that. But what can you say? It's still Kiss. You know what I mean? And in a perspective, it's not Ace and Peter. You know what I mean? So It's not the original guys. But I wouldn't go see the band.
Right. In the early days, again, of your career, like when you were playing guitar, did you also have a side occupation?
Always did like home improvement type stuff, like handyman, painting, that kind of thing, drywall, that kind of stuff on the side. Cool. And then I did a little bit of work with cars, automobiles, exhaust work, that kind of stuff.
Cool. So how were you in school?
I walked around and carried my guitar around, didn't really want to be there.
Like everybody else, right? Definitely.
Pretty much.
So like bands you were in, Mantas, Death, Massacre and stuff like that. All these bands were like innovating, at least to me, and I think it was a step in the right direction for that type of music and stuff like that. Do you think all them bands got their due in music and accomplished their goal?
I'm not really sure on that, because I never really thought of a goal to reach. It was just pretty much, no matter which band it was that I played in, it was just like guys writing music, and we got lucky. And getting a record deal, any kind of record deal, is a lottery thing. You know what I mean? No matter if it's a label owner that's a fan of the band, or somebody at the label that just turned on to the band and is able to sell their owner on the band, or the owner of the label. So I really don't know, man. But Chuck was really cut short. You know what I mean? I think he had a lot left in him for sure, from the last talk that we had before he passed. So I really think he was definitely cut short. As far as like the other bands, man, I never looked at anything like that. It was just like 4 guys getting together or 5 guys getting together and writing some music and going out and playing some shows, and then this whole record deal thing came into play. I never thought about being a rock star or playing in front of a bunch of people, or I never thought about that. Right. So, which I'm not a rock star, never will be. You know what I mean? I'm just some guy that plays music just like hundreds of thousands of other people playing music. You know what I mean?
Cool. Was it because of girls you wanted to get into music, or actually, trying to be a rock star or whatever?
What did you say, girls?
Yeah.
Nah, I had a girlfriend at the time. It was never about that either. And if you go to, I was definitely playing the wrong style of music to do that.
Wow.
So.
Very cool.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't about girls or partying, because none of us really partied in any of those bands either. In Death, Massacre, Mantas back in the day, an occasional beer here and there, and that was it. So. Wasn't no,
cool.
It was just a bunch of friends writing music, man, and then people just went their own ways.
Cool. Yeah, I did photograph, I think, Death back in, early days of 80s, maybe late 80s, in New Jersey. You did a show. I did some backstage photos and some live stuff, and that was pretty cool. I worked for Metal Forces magazine at the time.
And, rock on.
Yeah, cool. It was a lot of fun, So tell me a little bit about the Army of Darkness tour.
Well, that's not happening.
Right.
To quickly give you a summary of that, we were a month out before we left. All we had was emails, no factual paperwork in front of us. We're all in our 40s, and we're not going to hop on a plane, go 5,000 miles away, and we didn't even have tickets yet,
wow,
or anything like that. And it's a month out, and we didn't know if that was going to happen. So I'm not going to mention any names or anything like that who was doing the tour, because I don't even know. It came out of nowhere, and we just decided as a band not to do it. It seemed like a gypsy punk rock braille tour, like, hey, whatever happens, happens. Let's just go ahead and hop on this plane and go. We decided not to do it, like I said. The Wednesday prior to the 70,000 tons of metal, we got that. So the day we were supposed to leave for Europe, we ended up getting the 70,000 tons of metal, so we got in our cars on the 23rd and drove to Miami and got on a ship and went to the Cayman Islands and hung out with Venom and Corner and Overkill, and it was freaking killer.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was really odd. We pulled out of that thing because, like I said, it probably would have been not good for the band.
Right.
It probably would have left a really bad taste, but it wasn't meant to be, so I really can't say what would have happened, but it would have been, the nightmare didn't begin because we didn't leave. Right. We were still in the dream, is what Ed said, the singer. He's like, dude, we're still in the dream. The nightmare's not here because we didn't get on that plane. Cool. So we get the 70,000 tons of metal, man. It was a lot of, all I can say is a lot of really cool things happened on that ship for Massacre, bro.
Wow.
That a lot of people don't know about. That is getting ready to, in about a week or so, there's going to be a big announcement. So there's some really cool stuff. So
very cool.
We're recording 2 songs and got some really cool stuff going on and got the fucking thing. So it's going to be cool. A lot of cool stuff coming up for Massacre.
Very cool. So
and it's very coincidental, Brian. Coincidental. Very coincidental, unplanned. We didn't plan on putting this together. This is all over a Facebook message.
Wow.
Yeah, like actually on a board where some guy goes, hey, so-and-so's been doing this and doing Massacre and blah, 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 blah. Why don't you and Rick find a singer? And Terry goes, hey, Rick, find a singer. Coincidentally, I had a singer and a drummer. The singer that was for Emmink was going to do it. He didn't have the time because he's getting ready to have a baby. So I remembered when Emmink did their debut, our drummer had his baby that night, so we didn't get to play. But a band, Destined to Ruin, from Tampa was playing, and Ed Webb was the bass player and the vocalist of the band. I happened to catch their set that night. I was like, God damn, that guy's badass. They just, not thinking about him singing for anything I'm doing. I'm just like, wow, he's got his shit together. He's seasoned. He's not looking down at his neck. He's busting out the vocal. He's not slacking on the vocal or slacking on his bass playing. I was like, fuck, that's pretty killer.
Wow.
Coincidentally enough, all this comes together. We needed a singer. I called his guitar player, Damien. I'm like, hey, bro, you think Ed would be interested in singing for Massacre? We have a possible tour coming up. That's how that all came about. So I don't mean to ramble on, bro. So if you need to cut me off, cut me off.
No.
So that's all that how all that happened. And then Mike Mazzanetto, the drummer for Emmink and the drummer for Massacre, I go back like 19 years with him. We approached him to do the From Beyond record. Me and our old vocalist for Massacre approached him to do the From Beyond record because Bill and Terry were still in death. They were over doing the Spiritual Healing tour without Chuck at that time. And we had just been approached by Earache to do a record. So we're like, we need a drummer. At least a drummer. You know what I mean? We can play the bass and get all that done. We just need a drummer. And then, Joe Cangelosi came down from, who was in Whiplash and Creator. And he's been in several bands. And we did like a little different thing of Massacre, which was released under something called Second Coming, and it just wasn't meant to be. But then Terry calls me and Bill called me from Germany, and they're like, hey, dude, we're on tour without Chuck, and I don't think we're going to be in debt anymore. What do you think about putting Massacre together? That's pretty much how he put it. So I called Earache and told him, and I was totally game for it, but it kind of sucked that I had to tell Joe, like, he's down from New York, and I was like, oh, dude, you're not going to believe what's going on. He was very, very cool about it. So, anyway, Massacre history. So but right now, everything's going killer, dude. The 70,000 tons was super freaking cool, dude. Trevor Perez from Obituary really hooked us up because I called Terry Butler. I'm like, hey, dude, you think that 70,000 tons of metal is booked? And he goes, I don't know. Trevor knows the promoter really well. Let me give him a call. Dude, he calls the guy, sends him a really professional email to the point, blah, 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 because there's a bunch of novelty old-school bands on this cruise, coincidentally enough. And he tells the guy, it took him like 2.5 weeks, man. I'm not complaining by far, but the cruise is on Monday, and Terry called me 9 o'clock Wednesday night, and everybody's got jobs and families. I don't have any children, but he's like, hey, man, we got the cruise. I'm like, what? Dude, it's like 5 days away.
Wow.
Anyway, I'll let you get back to your questions, dude, so I'm rambling like a freaking idiot.
It's exciting. I'm enjoying hearing it, And
but it's really cool stuff happening, bro. And we have a really busy year.
Right. So
already.
What's going on with Emmink?
We have debut release will be out sometime in the summer. The studio owner who's doing the recordings for the Massacre stuff, Timmy Vasquez, who's also plays bass and does backing vocals in Emmink. He goes away every year, January and February, and January and February. So we had a little bit of downtime. So the Massacre thing happening is a cool coincidence because it's keeping me and Mike busy. Timmy just got back, and we're doing these 2 Massacre songs, and then he's getting on mastering. I think we have like 2 little bass things to touch up on the ending stuff out of the 11 songs, and then he's going to get right into mixing and mastering, and it's going to come out on, we have a distribution deal I think we're going to do with Mike Giuliano over at Horror and Gore Death Productions.
Cool.
Yeah, so he's going to put that out once we get it done. You know what I mean? Once we have it done and he has it in his hands, he said 3 weeks after that and to a month, and it'll be out. So
very cool, very cool.
It'll be cheap, 11 songs. We'll put $10. So it'll be cool. I think everybody will dig it.
I think
sounds really good.
Yeah, I was watching the video this morning actually.
Oh, the Bone Dust thing. Yeah, that's a school project, bro, for Chris,
right.
the singer. He's like. Calling one day, he's like, "Hey man, do you think we could do it? Does anybody that has this?" And I called a buddy of mine. We got a big warehouse, and he got the camera from school, and spent about 12 hours, and set up one day, and he came back the next day and spent 12 hours, played the song like 20 times, and it was fun for one camera. It came out pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I was watching the video, and I was going, they got some money behind them, so it looks, excellent, so I enjoyed it,
Yeah, that was freebie, dude. Basically our time, Chris held the camera most of the time in his own hand.
Wow. Very cool, very cool.
But they had some tracking and stuff that he got from the school, and it was really cool. So he got an A on it.
Cool. Great. So tell me a little bit about your political views.
My what?
Your political views. What do you think about the United States and what's going on?
I plead the fifth. I have none.
Okay.
I have no political views, bro. None.
Wow. Cool.
Seriously, not big. It'd be something else to. I can't. It's like watching sports anymore. I can't do it, dude. Can't.
Wow. So I see you also like cooking too. You like cooking?
Oh, definitely. Sorry. Yeah, I didn't cough in your ear. Definitely.
Yeah, no problem. Tell me what you cook. What's one of your?
Anywhere from Italian, Oriental, Mexican. Standard stuff, nothing super fancy, you know what I mean? No 4 or 5 star stuff, just your standard
cool
stuff, you know what I mean?
Right. So you have anything else coming up that you'd like to promote?
Just keep an eye out for M Inc. sometime in the summer, Taste of Hate. As far as Massacre, there's a lot of news that's coming soon. Really cool stuff. And we'll just play it by ear, man. So there's just things I can't talk about, but there's some really cool stuff going on that's really came out of the blue.
Cool. Well,
you know what I mean? So I appreciate your time, dude, and even getting me on for the interview. It's cool. I'm sorry for babbling, bro.
That's okay. It's better when people talk, at least, and you got interviews where no one says nothing.
Right.
No one wants to hear it then, But I congratulate you once again for
Thank you very much, Brian.
Massacre and everything else. And would you like to say anything to your fans out there?
Thanks for the support. It's cool to be back in the metal scene, and it seems like everything's being really well accepted, and I really appreciate it. It's very flattering, and thanks. It's really cool, and we'll see you in 2012, 2013.
Thanks a lot, Rick.
Thanks, brother.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Peace.